Welcome to SWSC Water Demand by Andrew Masullo and Dalen Mochak.
For our introduction, the Springfield Water and Sewer Commission, SWSC, located in Massachusetts, is in charge of providing and distributing water to its jurisdiction. Due to the decrease in water demand and sales, SWSC has been forced to adapt in order to prevent economic suffering. The decrease in demand comes from industry driving to become more efficient in its water conservation efforts.
The data being used for analysis is compiled by SWSC over the last decade. The three categories of buyers being investigated are the chemical company, Solutia Incorporated, industrial, and residential. Each of the three categories have data showing the thousands of gallons they bought from SWSC annually and the annual rate that SWSC charged them. In addition, residential also has gallons per capita per day. This means gallons per household. We also collected data about SWSC's annual revenue and expenses. This data will be plotted and compared against itself to depict trends showing how SWSC reacted to decreased water demand.
The first category we will go over is industrial manufacturing. In industry, water is used for a variety of processes such as cooling, diluting, washing, fabricating, and other manufacturing necessities. There are many large industrial companies located in SWSC's jurisdiction, such as Smith & Wesson, Friendly Ice Cream, UniFirst, and Solutia Incorporated. The figure below shows the average industrial water use from 2010 to 2019. We can see a clear decreasing demand for water. The trend line shows the average water demand has decreased from 425 million gallons sold in 2010 to 225 million gallons sold in 2019. This is almost a 50% decrease in demand over these 9 years.
Speaking of industrial companies, Solutia Incorporated is a chemicals manufacturing company located in Springfield that produces chemicals to make plastics and rubbers. They are by far SWSC's largest buyer, and they have their own contract to purchase water separate from the industrial rate. Solutia follows the same trend in decreasing water demand as the rest of the industry. The figure below shows a similar trend line. In 2010, they purchased an average of 2.8 billion gallons of water. And in 2019, they only purchased 1.9 billion gallons for a loss of approximately 32%. While this loss might be smaller than the rest of the industry, the magnitude of sale shows how devastating it was to SWSC. Over the past decade, Solutia Incorporated demand decreased by 900 million gallons compared to a mere 200 million gallon loss from the rest of industry. On average, Solutia uses 4.5 gallons for every 1 gallon the rest of industry uses.
Solutia is a great example of what manufacturing companies in the area are aiming towards. They are making various efforts to increase efficiency of their resources, including water. One project Solutia is undertaking involves optimizing chiller water temperatures. We can assume that an optimal water temperature would decrease the amount of water needed for cooling. Similarly, they are also installing a more efficient cooling tower to reduce water. Lastly, they are working on a reverse osmosis system upstream of their boiler, which will recover boiler loss and reduce water consumption.
Moving on to residential consumption. Household technology is also becoming more efficient. Shown in the trend line below, in 2010, residents used on average 4.15 billion gallons compared to 3.8 billion gallons in 2019. This is an 8% decrease. However, the magnitude of this loss is 350 million gallons. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, the population of Springfield has grown 3% from 2010 to 2019. This proves that the decrease in water demand was not caused by a shrinking population.
Some reasoning behind the residential decrease can also be linked to advancements in technology. An article from Whirlpool states that many new appliances are becoming Energy Star certified. For example, an Energy Star washing machine uses 2/3 less water than a regular washing machine. Generally, as technology advances, new appliances will use less water. This includes shower heads, faucets, toilets, dishwashers, and washing machines. The figure below shows gallons per day per capita used in the SWSC jurisdiction. This means how much water the average household uses in a day. Over the last 9 years, the demand has decreased nearly 8%. This aligns with the decrease in overall residential water demand.
In order to adapt to decreasing water sales, SWSC has raised the rate per 1,000 gallons for all three categories analyzed. Residential, industrial, and solution rates has increased by 40%, 43%, and 51% respectively from 2011 to 2020. We can assume that solutions rate increased the most because they are the largest buyer and need the water to continue operating. Increasing the rate slightly will make SWSC a much larger amount of money than raising the rates of other customers.
Shown in the graph below, SWSC has raised their rates enough to maintain a constant growth in annual revenue. From 2014 to 2019, SWSC's revenue has increased by approximately 18%, or $14 million.
So, in conclusion, technological advancements are being made to limit the amount of water industrial and residential users consume. The reason why we did not discuss commercial water is because the water demand was unchanged over our study period. We can assume that this is due to few technological advances in the commercial industry over our study period. SWSC needs to keep raising the rates to cope as demand decreases. However, they may begin to face limitations. They could raise the rates to a certain level where customers will not want to pay for water anymore. Some possible options for buyers may include finding new ways to conserve water, finding an alternate source to take water from, or taking their business somewhere else.